Oh, hey, what's going on? Hey. Good afternoon. Welcome. On a Friday, I'm all thrown off. You know, we were out on Monday. That threw me. And then the power went out on Tuesday for a lot of people. Still remains out. It's been a wild week. Been a very, very strange week. You still, your power still out?
Yep, still out.
Yeah, mine is too.
Yep, I'm.
You're bunking with a girlfriend?
With a girlfriend out in Perry, so it's a bit of a hike to get in.
Oh, you're out by the nuclear plant.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a 45-minute commute, but I still have all my obligations in town after the show. You know, every night. It's like
Right.
Like Tuesday there was no Brothers Lounge, but then on Wednesday I did East End, and then last night I did High and Dry. Great shows, both of them. High and Dry was incredible last night.
That's in Tremont?
That's in Tremont. And then tonight my buddy's in town, and it's his birthday, so I'm going to hang out with him, and then get out of town to back out to the woods.
Right. Is Perry in the middle of nowhere?
Not really. I mean,
I only know it because
it's like
of the
near
plant.
Painesville and Fairport Harbor and all that stuff. So,
Okay.
like, it's definitely more suburban and country than city for sure, but it's not like you're like way out there.
It's doable.
It's doable. And the commute's not bad. I've been catching up with friends on the drive.
So when you get out there, you ever kick it on the back 40 and you go, I could do this someday?
Oh, dude. The only thing is, like, she's in a real, like, neighborhoody spot. If I was going to move out there, I'd want more land to myself.
Oh, you want a more rural area?
I want to be more
That's
rural.
how you grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go back to my roots.
I got you.
Some rural, being a rural comedian.
The rural juror.
Yeah, the rural
Bill
juror.
Squire, rural comedian. That is Bill Squire. My name is Alan Cox. Welcome to the program. Mary Santora is out today because she might be doing Kill Tony, right? For
Yeah.
people who are familiar with that podcast.
Very
she
exciting.
Emailed me a couple hours ago and said, hey, I'm going to be out. I got an invitation to maybe, I don't know how that works. She said she got an invitation to maybe do Kill Tony at Madison Square Garden.
And she's got to be ready.
So is that what it is? I know the Tony Hinchcliffe does Kill Tony, which is a very popular podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of know the broad strokes of it, but I
So
don't
they
know
do-
how it works.
They do bucket spots.
So they pull your name out of a bucket.
Yeah,
and
but-
her name will be on a slip in a bucket.
No.
Oh.
She has recommendations from comedians that have been on the show. So she would be like, I don't want to say a plant, but like an invite.
I thought everybody
Yeah.
had to be invited by someone. I
What?
thought everybody had to be recommended to get in the bucket.
No, not in the bucket.
Okay.
To get in the bucket, all you have to do is just put your name in the bucket.
Put your name.
It's because there's people of all levels that try and get on Kill Tony.
So you could say, hey, I'm going to be in New York X day or whenever they're taping. You
Well,
go,
for this one, I don't know if it's the same for this one where they're doing it at Madison Square Garden, but I'm not super familiar with the show. I've watched like one episode, but it's, from what I understand, people like comics or people that want to be on the show will put their name into the bucket and then they draw names out, but they'll have a few like selected people that just to make sure that they get some good comics.
Have you been on there? Have you done Kill Tony?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, there's people. I saw a clip of some dude who was like, yeah, I've been doing stand-up for a week.
Yeah.
And I got it. I'm like, okay.
It's a hugely popular show. I
get
don't
that.
get it. Like, I don't love it the way other people do. But it's like a hugely, and that's all people ever say to me. Oh, you got to get on Kill Tony. You got to get on Kill Tony. I'm like, you're watching my video now. Just pay attention to this video and then pay attention to the next video I post. Like, why do we got to go through Tony? Why can't you just
Yeah, I've never seen it before, but we've had Tony on the show many times before.
It's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Like but like with as much amateur comedy that I watch already, sitting down and watching more doesn't appeal to me.
Right.
And
You're
I
in a
see
different
clips, and
situation.
there's very, very funny clips, and but it's just, I understand why people like it. It's just not something that I sit down to relax and enjoy because I already kind of live it in a much less densely funny way. So
it's like I feel bad for my family because I go home and the last thing I want to do is talk.
Right.
But I've been gone all day, and they rightfully expect me to have conversations.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's the last thing I want to do.
Right.
But I do.
But it's a huge opportunity. So if Mary gets on, it can be, especially doing it at Madison Square Garden, which is I think they're doing like 2 or 3 nights there.
Mm-hmm.
That's just crazy how popular the show is.
You know the first thing I thought when I got that email from her?
That she killed Tony.
The goddamn manifestation portal.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, did you manifest this? And she's like, no, I didn't manifest.
Yeah, I didn't write her back, but I was like, oh my God, did it have... Because I was getting a lot of messages from people about the stupid manifestation portal. I don't know why it's always girls.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's like a female... It's not inherently female-centric. It's just for whatever reason that kind of gobbledygook appeals more to females. I was getting a lot of messages from women who were like, hey, this is a thing. Except the one girl, she stumbled around so much to try to explain it. I'm like, if this was rooted in anything real, it would be real easy to explain it. You would say X to Y to Z.
Mm-hmm.
But she was all over the place.
I think it's just positive thinking. I mean, it's The Secret, right? That's where it all boils down to. Remember when The Secret was all big?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking is, I don't recall any of this before 2006. There was a movie that came out in 2006 called The Secret. It was like this Australian documentary, and then there was a book shortly after that, and I remember my girlfriend at the time, I had just moved back to Chicago, and my girlfriend at the time was reading The Secret. And it's all this like 18th century pseudoscience that was repackaged for the 20th century, and boy, people were eating it up.
They were. And it's one of those things, too, where even if you're not manifesting through the ways that people say they are, it's not like anybody hopes their life gets worse. Like, everybody hopes for a better life. So whatever it is, and then, like, the whole speaking it into existence, I can't think of any human I've ever met that doesn't want a better existence.
Right.
That's
right.
across the board.
Whether you're an optimist or a pessimist,
right.
you want things to move in a positive direction.
Move in a positive direction. And then also, a lot of the manifestations seem to be very capitalistic in their, like, instead of everybody manifesting, hey, why don't we all just be in a society where we don't even have to be rich or famous or anything like that. We can just exist and be happy. And that's not the kind of manifesting that gets put out there in this situation. It's all like, oh, I just need this next job or this next, it's all very, in my opinion,
self-serving,
yeah.
Well, you got to look out for yourself.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just saying, it's just, like if it were truly as powerful as they said it would, we could all get together and manifest a better existence for everybody. Like, why aren't we all trying to manifest cancer being gone, or, world hunger not being a thing? But
that's why I asked Mary yesterday if there were limits to the portal. Maybe that's something that's even too big for the universe.
Right.
Cancer. Not even the universe can figure cancer out. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, that was the first thing I thought. She said, hey, I might be doing Kill Tony, so I'm not going to be in today. It was that she screamed into that portal. Although we will not, and I know some people wanted it, we will not be getting the bonus hole recap today for people who watched that last night. I was in the process of, my wife had the wherewithal to buy an inverter. So we were using all of the batteries from my electric yard implements.
Okay.
All my lawn, like I have an electric, there's a line of electric things called Ego, mm-hmm. and I've got the branch saw, and I have everything they made, right? I got the string trimmer, and I got the lawnmower and all, and you need a lot of batteries for that kind of stuff. So we bought an inverter so I could use those batteries to power like
and stuff,
fan, Wi-Fi, all that kind of stuff. So I've been trying to jury rig all those things. I had to bring all those batteries in here this morning to recharge those, and then I put them back in my car, and then I'm just like charging
Manifest the power being back on. That's what we should be working towards.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so. Like,
I heard from everybody got that text that the power will be back for everybody by Wednesday at the latest,
mm-hmm.
but I was hearing from somebody who's kind of in the know with First Energy, and they were like, they don't even have the wire that they need to fix all the damage. So it's been a long time since there has been a storm of this magnitude. Story? I did not.
Okay, so on his story, he posted all the stuff in his neighborhood in
Freshly
Lakewood.
Back from L.A., by the way.
Yeah.
That's his welcome wagon.
Yeah, welcome back. And there's so many trees and so many power lines down in that part of Lakewood. Streets are still not even open over there because there's so many down.
Yeah, they said 80% of Lakewood doesn't have power.
Yep, and I'm part of that 80%.
Yeah.
And then even last night in Tremont, there's like trees that are down and like power lines. I mean, they're not live; they cut them, but they're still down in the street, and no one's coming and cleaned it up yet, just because there's so many to deal with.
That's why I was reading temporarily in the Plain Dealer, they're renaming that part of town Mont. I've got to take a break, and if you want to get a text in for anything, 3-5.